Alright, I'm going to give a little update on what's been going on with the Jeep here. Got the rear end out and popped the hubs off the axles and then used my slide hammer to get the axles out. I got the steering wheel off. There we go. So I had to buy this OTC puller to get the hubs off. Those things were stuck. And this little kit, which is kind of the same as my slide hammer kit, wasn't doing it. That thing is just way too small. This one you can tell is a lot beefier. So this got it done. I mean, I had to beat on it and beat on it and beat on it. Yeah, there you go. Like mushroom. Anyway, I used this for the steering wheel puller. Screwed it into this. Made this guy to set on top of the horn button. And I just drilled a little pocket there for the horn button to fit into, and then the pilot for the back side of that guy. And that worked pretty well. So steering wheel's off, hubs are off, axles are out. Master cylinder is out too, and I was able to get the master cylinder out without removing the fender, but the steering box I'm going to have to remove the fender. And I got one bolt out by breaking it in half with an impact. I'm pretty sure none of these are going to survive. And I've been trying to keep my focus on the rear end. I can't really show you without the tires on here, but I discovered these bearings there was quite a bit of slop in there. So I was hopeful initially that, okay, that's the problem with all of the play in the steering. But then after I just tightened that up and wiggled the wheels, I noticed the sector shaft coming in and out a good 1/4 of an inch. So steering box is coming out. On the subject of brakes, rather than doing the Herm the Overdrive Guy master cylinder, I've got this Willwood because I wanted remote reservoirs. I didn't want the reservoir down there under my feet. I wanted the reservoir, up there somewhere, so I could just pop the hood and check the level and top it off, which I thought made sense. So I bought this guy, and it mounts the opposite. The mount holes are vertical instead of horizontal. So I drilled the holes, mounted it to Herm's bracket, and then started researching the installation of Herm's bracket, and apparently you have to grind away the mounting bracket from the frame, and then this mounts in there and you have to drill holes and all of that. And with this master cylinder being so thin, I don't even think I need to do that. I'm pretty sure I can just cut this off, weld something on there, because these aren't used. That's just the bleeder, which is on the correct side, and you can even switch it around. So I think I can just weld a bracket on here, drill the holes through the bracket to mount into the factory mount holes. And that would be a lot less fabrication to the frame. It would just be fabrication of a bracket right here on the bench. So in my eyes, this would be easier. Kind of sucks. I wish I knew that before I bought his bracket, because I'm basically fabricating a bracket from scratch anyhow. But we'll see what happens there. Knocked all the wheel studs out, because I didn't want right hand and left hand thread anymore. These don't fit. I just had these in stock on the shelf. They don't fit. The knurl's too small. I did find a Dorman part number that looks like it'll work. 1/2 inch 20 thread and a .618 knurl. Maybe I'll put the part number into the description when I get to that. So now on to the rear end. My next step, the carrier's still in there. So my next step is to spray the ring gear with some brake clean, and I'm going to paint just a couple of teeth and wheel it around to see what the pattern is before I go screwing with it. I'm also going to measure the backlash before I screw with it, and then I'm going to mark the caps pointing out and which one goes where. And then I'm going to remove the carrier, pull the ring gear off of it, and start putting the ring gear on this guy. So I guess you get a box opening video. And this is the air locker from TRE. Inexpensive. A lot of people have negative things to say because it's obviously manufactured in China. I was kind of impressed with how much stuff it came with. Comes with some shims, keychain. It didn't come with instructions, but they do have instructions online, just not for a flat fender D44. So when I chatted with them, they suggested I use the Toyota instructions. So we'll see how that goes. Got the copper line, that's your air line. And that's the, I guess you would call that the throwout bearing. And then it's got these fittings, so you actually have to drill a hole in the top of the case, NPT tap it for that and that. This is, which one's which? That one's the airline. This must be the oil return. I guess diff oil can get in the line, and so they have an oil return. And it even came with carrier bearings, which really surprised me. But I think that's cool. Let's see if I can get this box out of here one-handed. Two different lines, two different sizes. So one's oil and the other is air. I assume the bigger one's oil. What is this? More swag. TRE. And then there's the carrier. So I'll probably put the ring bearing on, or the ring gear on first. Now this is kind of interesting. Notice how deep that pocket is machined. The reason why I say that's interesting, let's see if I've got the right size on this. Probably not. Close enough. And before I go getting all that crap on my hands, shaky cam. All right. That's why I think those pockets are interesting. I guess these older Jeeps didn't use a fine thread, and so having these bolts back out was a pretty common deal. And they solved that in the later models with this little bracket and hammering that over so the bolt can't spin. Well, with that deep pocket here, that bracket ain't gonna work. So I'm just going to have to use green Loctite there, red Loctite on the bolts, and wish for the best. So that's interesting. It'll probably be fine. And yeah, so I should probably, before I go putting the ring gear on there, I should probably set the carrier in there dry and just spin it around. It doesn't really look like it's any bigger, but the fact that they don't have instructions leads me to believe that I might be a guinea pig with this thing, and I might encounter stuff that nobody else has encountered because nobody else has installed this thing in a flat fender D44. So, which sucks. That means I've got to press the bearings on first before I put the ring gear on, which isn't that big of a deal because I'm pretty sure I can just heat up the ring gear enough to slide right over there. I've done that with 8.8s before, in the Falcon in fact, which is on the other side of that closed door. So yeah, I guess I'll put those bearings on first and then drop it in there dry without any shims, and then just spin it around to make sure nothing hits. I'm sure it'll be fine, but good practice to just check clearances. So anyway, that's what I'm doing next. I did notice a little bit of wetness around the pinion, so it probably needs a new pinion seal. I don't know if I'm going to get into that here or not. And then there's dirt all over it, so I need to clean it, and I'd like to paint it, but I probably won't do that until after this is in there and the cover is sealed up. So anyway, that's the update. That's the unboxing of the air locker. And the way these work is, like I said, there's sort of a throw-out bearing connected to the copper tube. You drill a hole somewhere up here, so air applies the throw-out bearing and makes it lock. That's about as much as I know about these things. I'm not really even sure yet where that throw-out bearing, the apply bearing goes. Slip ring, whatever you want to call it. Because right here I don't see... Maybe it threads up to there. I don't know. I'll let you know more when I figure it out. So that's all I have for now. Later.